So, ARK has got a brand new update, which I think a lot of you guys are going to be quite happy with, especially if you have a server or something like that. This issue has been affecting a lot of people recently, and Wildcard have been working on the fix. So I'm here to update you guys with everything that's ongoing. Also, we are going to talk a little bit about the new Australas Mega Update, which is launching in 20 days, because there's some juicy information, and I think we'll most likely get that official information on in tomorrow's crunch. And I think for the next few weeks we're going to be getting lots of Australas Mega Update information about what else is coming, because apparently what we've seen so far is literally the tiniest bit. Apparently this mega update is truly the word mega. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, as always, drop a like and subscribe, and we're going to get straight in with the news. Right, so patch information. Now, this has all been kind of released over the last few days as they've been trying to find a fix. So, if you've been having an issue on official, unofficial, I don't think it's happening that much on single player, but if you have, if you play on any of these, you may have noticed a recent issue where the server just randomly crashes, and when you load in, there's been a pretty big rollback. Sometimes the rollback's not as bad, sometimes it's, it's kind of a bit of a mixed bag. And, this has actually come down to an issue that's been ongoing ever since the start of January, and Studio Wildcard have been pushing out fixes. As you can see, potential fix for server crashes when trying to save. They fixed an issue where modded traits would not apply to wild dinos, unofficial only. Fixed a potential fix for a save issue causing server crashes. Potential fix for failing to ascend in LC due to large save file size. Another crash fix, and then they fixed an issue causing a backup to be made every save. Should now only have save backups in regular intervals again, and they fixed an exploit. So I'm very, very happy to say that a lot of the information for this fix actually came from the LoadedCrysis cluster. If you guys are interested in playing in an amazing community and meeting lots of friends and just enjoying ARK, if you're ARK obsessed, come and join us. The link is down below. But recently we've actually been helping towards fixing the entire game, which I find absolutely amazing. And it turns out that there was a massive issue going on with crashing, and it was really awesome to be able to constantly give as much information as we could to Studio Wildcard to actually get this issue fixed. And I feel like for me, this was a really proud moment for me. Like, we've raised, last year we raised over $5,000 for children in need, that need the money the most. And that was is such a proud moment for me. And being able to now directly help towards fixing the game is really awesome, and I will keep on doing my best to do that for you guys. And every time you guys, this is why I do these videos, every time there's a new issue, I always ask you guys, make sure to put it in the comments section down below, and I can try and use my platform to help Wildcard actually fix a certain issue. And overall, it just benefits everyone, right? It benefits Wildcard because they can look into the issue, and you guys are happier because you're not losing your characters, because I know that's been a big issue, especially on official servers at the moment. So, into the community crunch we go, which obviously we've already gone through this community crunch. We're going to be talking about the future community crunch number 492, because in last week's we found out about this new, I say new, it's from Atlas, but it's the Hydra, and it's a new boss coming to the Australas Mega Update. We've also seen a reveal from Wildcard on the Scorpion King, which is going to be roaming around the deserts of Australas, which is obviously the whole update. It's the Desert Mega Update expansion. So it's going to be really exciting. Now, also, there is many more features which we've been told, and Catus has kind of hinted a few things, that this update is going to be, as I said, mega. There's going to be more different, I don't know whether it's going to be a whole new creature. I guess the Scorpion King's pretty new, and so is the Hydra, but I think there is actually going to be more, and it's going to be very interesting if there's something new like the Maywing or something. Like, I'm not saying that's a confirmation that that's happening, but I do think there's a very good chance that we could potentially see a lot of new stuff like that, and we already know it's going to have, many new caves. There's going to be, as I said, new boss fights. It's going to be a seriously cool update. One thing I will say with Australas, and the only thing I think that really does cause issues for this map, is because it is so big, a lot of people do experience sometimes crashes, because it takes up so much RAM, this map, because it's so massive, that sometimes when there's an issue, maybe that might be with wildcard or something like that, this map tends to experience the worst problems. It's sad, you know, it's sad that that's the case, because obviously this map pushes the boundaries of what's already been possible in Ark Survival Ascended, and I love it. Like, if you're an Ark Survival Evolved player, I've seen a lot of people join my cluster and say, hey, I'm an Ark Survival Evolved player and I'm going to be trying Ascended. They're very, very shocked, because they've been missing out on amazing maps like Australas. Like this, if this was released back on Survival Evolved, I think this could be one of the most popular maps, but it wouldn't have been possible to be released on Survival Evolved because it was too big and far past the technology that was available then. So being able to have all of this Unreal Engine updates and the new game and everything like that, it's enabled us to have a map like Australas. But what I've literally got my fingers crossed for is the Unreal Engine 5.7 update being labelled as the magic bullet for performance. And I'm really, really hoping, I know they said it with 5.5 before, they didn't use the words that they've used for 5.7, especially labeling something magic bullet is a really big statement from them. So let's hope that that Unreal update is gonna really show us something about performance, and that's meant to be dropping in April. It's safe to say it's been a pretty quiet start to the year, and that's always expected. If you're a long-term Ark player, you will know that DLCs always tend to launch in December, and we do spend a lot of January pretty much just experiencing bug fixes, because, I mean, Lost Colony had been totally broken, the boss wasn't working, and I do agree with a lot of people that say, hey, I paid for this and it doesn't work. So I definitely 100% understand that, and it is very frustrating, you know, when you do pay for something, if it doesn't actually work, then, you know, you're kind of like, why did I pay for this? So this apparently is being like the highest priority. There's already been loads and loads of fixes put in place for it, and the engineers over at Studio Wildcard have this as high priority. So this is going to be the same case as, you know, the content throughout the year. You know, I'm hoping that Gen 1 will have a really smooth launch, but of course, they're taking a big step with Gen 1. They're literally doing a map-sized ocean biome, which is just unbelievable. And then we'll probably have the same next year. You know, Dragontopia, the new Dragon DLC coming, is going to be launched in December. It's been confirmed. I know it says Q4, but Wildcard have now said December themselves. So, again, with a map which they've said is going to be very similar, it's got Pandora vibes, Avatar vibes to it, with dragons, there's bound to be some issues, because I think they're really obviously pushing the boundaries of what they've done before, and I do think it's going to be a good year for Ark, I do, and I don't think it's been the best start to the year because of the Lost Colony issues, but I do think it's going to be a very good year, and I think it'll be fun, full of content, and it's very interesting that at some point in the next month or so, we should be seeing Survival of the Fittest launching. I know every time I talk about it, it's not very popular in the Ark community. I know it's kind of a small group of us that really enjoy this game mode, but I do think with this new launch, if they do it well and they give it more of a reason to keep hopping into the next match and the next match, as they've said, I think this could potentially have a chance, and I'm going to give Studio Sirens the benefit of a doubt, because actually, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, right? But Ark Aquatica, it was all a mess, and it was a bad idea to go back to the old game as celebrating 10 years of Ark, then releasing a DLC because they weren't allowed to, Snail Games weren't allowed to release a DLC for ASA over there. So they decided they'll do it for the old game because they saw a huge population over in there, and they thought, you know, this could be some little like earner for us. And I actually think some of the ideas that the Studio Sirens team did was actually kind of cool. Like, I think some people may actually agree with me when I say, like, you know, the underwater walking boots, and there was a really cool taming mechanic which was for one of the creatures. I did play it early, I remember, and then I was like talking to you guys whether I should release any content about it, you know, like just to basically say this is what they've done. And obviously I decided not to because you guys said to me, Dom, I really don't want to give this any promo, and that's why I never uploaded the video about it, doing a review. But when I did play it, they had some good ideas, and I think they did well with what was given to them for, in Snail Games. And it was never gonna go down well at the end of the day, was it? It really wasn't gonna go down well. Like Snail, it was already they were set up for failure. There was the AI trailer which just literally went viral. That was like the busiest I've seen the ARK community in ages. It was people that don't even play ARK were all of a sudden part of the community just for the banter of that. They've actually released an AI trailer like this, and I just think they were set up from failure from the start. So that's why with Survival of the Fittest, I'm actually going to give them the benefit of the doubt, because if they're doing this alongside Studio Wildcard, Jeremy, the co-founder of Wildcard, has given them himself, he said he's given them all the knowledge they need and everything they need to make this the game mode that they'd visioned for. And so now they've actually had the resources they didn't have before. I think this is when we should really judge how Studio Sirens is. And if they do a good job with this, I will let them know that, because they, you know, I just think it was a harsh situation that they were in. The only thing I never agreed with was when one of the community managers like called out ARK YouTubers or something like that, and I was just like, okay, but it was a bit of definitely not the right move. It was just because people had an opinion on what they thought was a bad idea, which it was, and I understand, like, you know, there was people that had jobs involved in that situation, and that's very important to look at, but I'm hoping it's going to go well for them this time round. We'll see. So anyway, that is going to be the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. We will be back tomorrow within the release of the Community Crunch. I'm sure there'll be lots of juicy Australas kind of reveals and upcoming stuff. And I would hope that we were going to get an update on Survival of the Fittest soon, unless it's delayed. Which I was hoping maybe that's what we had different with Studio Sirens. Maybe they don't delay like Wildcard do, but who knows? We'll see. And so thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for your support.